Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. Big news in many ways, but by the title of the video, it could be quite obvious what it's about. So we're on Charles Veitch here, Charlie Veitch, love him or hate him, 777,000 subscribers. Very popular. Most people know of the Veitch, to be honest. Anybody on the YouTube sort of um, likes watching real life videos on the street kind of crack. Everyone kind of knows who Charlie Veitch is. He's probably one of the most famous YouTubers of the like auditor on the street kind of people. He's not an auditor really, but of that kind of genre, you know what I mean? So yeah, of all of them, he's probably the one of the most famous. Like again, doing a similar thing, and when you're on the beat and you see all these YouTubers like Knockout Audits and Ginger Patriot and DP Audits and all of them really, Charlie Veitch is considered one of the group and probably the most famous one of the group, and second in line, kind of like Billy Moore sort of thing. And there's a few others. You've got I can't remember his name now. They're good channel. Wesley something. He's really good as well. I seen him briefly in London, so he'll have a London video coming out soon. That'll be good. Anyway, back to Charles Veitch. Um, he's standing down. He's standing down. In a previous video, I mentioned he wasn't at London. Fred was there. I've seen him in another video. I think he was with DGE Media. So yeah, Charlie Veitch was not at London, and I think everybody was surprised. To be honest, everybody, because every other YouTuber was basically there. To be honest, so it was a surprise that he wasn't there. So nobody really thought a lot of it, but it was strange for me. And then it was strange on Saturday night before I went to bed, maybe about 12 o'clock at night, something like that. Usually Charlie Veitch has dropped a video on a Saturday. No video came. No video came Sunday either. So it started then. I started to wonder, and I think I mentioned in yesterday's video, has he got a bit worried here with the death of Charlie Kirk, another Charlie? And I often think if I was in the shoes of Charlie Veitch, this would be a big moment for because of who Charlie Veitch is, who Charlie Kirk is. They share the same name, and one of them is dead. And many a time we've seen Charlie in predicaments, so to speak. Well, he now has two or three bodyguards when he goes out because it can get heated at times. Many a time, and I've said before, he's a definite target. So is young Bob. Um, so you've the thing is, some people maybe think he's a shitbag or something. This is the problem, and maybe even the left trying to call him back out will call him a shitbag. But the man has got kids. Like this is ultimately what the bottom line is here, and some people may not realise this, but it might even be a case of the girlfriend or the wife who he has his current children with, or the children that he sees. Um, maybe she's after the death of Charlie Kirk. Maybe the girlfriend, the wife, has asked Charlie Veitch to stand down in light of what's happened, and a man's died here in public, in front of his children. And Charlie's had trouble before when he's been with the girlfriend and the children, as he's mentioned before, being harassed out in public when they're out and about. And yeah, and again, not just me, but I know the people who thought and worried for young Bob and Charlie Veitch and the way it's going and the way the left wing are. And again, the man already had death threats. He will. I'll play this bit of the video and let him speak himself, really. But I'm just sort of saying before I do, it's not it's what's the words? It's what's mixed emotions, really, like mixed emotions. It's like real sad and bad to lose like a really strong troop, so to speak, who was speaking for the right wing and saying the right things, and just it was again everybody. If when you watch him, Charlie, walk through the streets, the left wing might hate him, but the right wing fucking loves him. So as much as he was hated on the streets, he's far more loved, to be honest. And a lot of people do come to his defence at times. I have seen it now and again. So, but it still doesn't. If somebody tries to stab him, it's them they're going for. You know what I mean? And bodyguards can maybe do so much if there's so many of them. It is an absolute danger he puts himself in every week without fail, really, when he goes to Manchester or anything like that. He's that well known now, really. Many cities could be a danger for him. So I kind of understand the decision, is what I'm saying. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'll miss his videos. I do enjoy these videos where he just talks, but obviously the ones in the city centres with the bodyguards and shouting at Antifa and the left wing are funny, and they're really good videos. And again, you can tell by the viewing figures that he gets on them videos that they are the popular money making videos. But then again, it says a lot for Charlie in many ways. It says a lot for Charlie that he will stand down for the sake of his kids and his girlfriend. He's not bothered about the money. This will not make him as much money as what he was doing, but ultimately he's valuing safety and his family above money, content, and risking his life. To be honest, and fair, and you can't argue with that. As sad as it is that he's kind of standing down, you can't argue with that in the light of what's happened to Charlie Kirk, because it could happen to Charlie Veitch. It very, very well could happen, and I don't think he'd be shot, but I think he could be stabbed. And I worry for that for young Bob as well, to be honest. So I don't like the decision, but I respect the decision and I understand the decision from in light of everything that's happened. And you could kind of tell in Charlie's last video before this how affected he was by Charlie Kirk's death. Now he's become a father and got a bit older. See, a lot of people will judge Charlie. I've watched Charlie for 15 to 20 years. And a lot of people will judge Charlie on the man he was 15 to 20 years ago. But like anybody, and probably like myself as well, as you get older, you change, you become wiser, you become less what's the words, like violent maybe in a way, and you just have less energy and you can't be bothered, and a multitude of things happen as you get older. But one of them is a change in the mind. Definitely, you kind of you become more humble. It's maybe the word I'm looking for, and especially like having kids and everything, and well, just having kids and having a family, I suppose. Running around risking your life and having already lost Charlie Kirk, and he doesn't do exactly the same thing, but he's in the same boat in many ways, and he's completely hated by the left wing. So it's everyone can sort of see what I'm saying. So you can't argue with the man. It's his decision. It's whether you respect the decision or not. It's his decision to make, and he's made it. But I kind of do respect it in light of Charlie Kirk's death and everything else, like the beef Veitch gets, the fact that he has bodyguards and needs them. It speaks for itself, really. So yeah, I think he's. I don't think he's particularly massively worried about himself as much either. I don't think this is a massive selfish act. I think he's worried about his kids and his family, and his girlfriend's worried about him, and she doesn't want to be in the position of Erica Kirk, um, having to go on YouTube and talk about Charlie being murdered in the streets. So you've got to respect the decision. To be honest, you've got to respect it because, as I said, it's his to make, and in light of everything, um, it's not possibly a bad decision he's made in light of everything as well. But it's sad to lose a troop, and a strong troop as well. Do you know what I mean? But I'm sure he'll still fight for the right, but maybe just not running around the streets. Um, Bothering the left wing again. He has been antagonistic in his time, and now it's come back around to bite him. But fair play to him in many ways for noticing what's happening really as well. I think that's another thing. He's a clever man. He got bodyguards. Probably quite a few months ago now, so it shows again he is a clever fella and he knew what was coming and he needed them all this time as well. So yeah, respect to Charlie Veitch, respect to his decision, and again, I kind of understand it in many ways. I'll let Charlie speak.
When he talks about Irina being your sister or your daughter, talks about Charlie Kirk being your brother or your son. And, many people are like, why am I not out in the streets making videos? The moment I saw that assassination, I made a vow that I would never get within 5 miles of either a communist or an Islamist. The ists can go fuck themselves. I'm going to talk from safe places. And, I'll ramp it up a bit. Obviously, we're going to have to do some exciting city centre videos in the very distant future once England is England again. Once the world isn't infested with literal suckers of Satan's cock, lowering our psychic energy and making us pay a much higher psychic price than we imagined, to borrow a phrase from Bill Hicks. Many of you are very astute. Many of the things I say are from Bill Hicks, and I really should credit them, each one. But in the age of TikTok, copying...
Yeah, he does say a lot of Bill Hicks stuff. If you don't know who Bill Hicks is, well, where have you been? But again, Bill Hicks died a long time ago, so any younger people might not have heard of Bill Hicks, but legendary, absolutely legendary Bill Hicks. Got a few stage shows. They're on YouTube, I believe, especially the one he done in London. I think that is on YouTube. So Bill Hicks, again, a lot of Charlie's wisdom comes from Bill Hicks. So if you like Charlie, then you don't know who Bill Hicks is, go and look up Bill Hicks.
In the age of... Yeah. And for the demented lefto-goblins that are like, oh, yay! We've made Charlie Veitch scared of going to the city, you fucking little... 3 different videos from July. 3 separate Saturdays from July. Young Muslim men passing knives to one another. Passing knives, trying to get close, to kill me. Trying to get close. Fred and Tay noticed. Fred smacked one in the face. Another one with a knife got fucking put on his arse. Tay as well. Thank you, Tay. God bless you. He's a Christian pastor. His channel is Christian Warfare. Worth a follow. The man is dead.
Yeah, I have actually subscribed to Tay's channel, Christian Warfare. I'll maybe mention it at one time or another if he brings forth a good video. He does lives and sort of sits in front of the camera for, like, the last one I just he done was it's over an hour long. So again, if you want to subscribe to the Bodyguard channel, like Devout Man of God and Jesus, and Tay's called The Black Guy. Obviously, there's Fred as well. I've got a good video of Fred, probably be up before this. It's Fred offering Bob Villain out. It'll only be a short, though. I'll put the short up. But it's Fred offering Bob Villain out for a fight. It's quite good, like. Let's see where that goes. So I'll put, I'll maybe put it on the end of this video, and I'll put it on as a short, but I'll maybe put it on the end of this video as well. Just let Charlie finish.
Dedicated. The man really believes in Christ as much as Charlie Kirk did. And so for all the left, he's like, oh, he's scared. It's like, I have genuine death threats. The police came to my house at 1 o'clock in the morning, about 8 Fridays ago. And me being stupid, rather than like say, oh shit, there's a committed lefto fucking Antifa and Islamists, they're gonna fucking kill me. I doubled the bodyguards. I went out sometimes with 3 guys as protection. And yeah, it was great. Amazing. But I'm a family man. I've got 4 children. I'm 45 years old. I'm no longer a fighter. Yeah, I'm a big guy. I could probably handle myself one-on-one with most of you little inbred.
Yeah, like I said, he's got kids. That's ultimately the bottom line here, and a family, and look what's happened to Charlie Kirk, and look at Erica Kirk and the kids now, and nobody wants that, you know what I mean? Well, the left maybe do, as we've seen by some of the reactions, but nobody wants that. Nobody wants people to be fatherless, and I really do think this has more come from the girlfriend or the wife, to be honest, and she's actually asked Charlie to to stand down here because of what's happened to Charlie Kirk. And again, he's called Charlie, and he's in the same sort of game here, and the left wing hate him, and the Muslims hate him as well. So he's an absolute target. I don't blame him for doing this. To be honest, I'm not a fan of it because I don't. It should again, you shouldn't show fear. You know what I mean? In many ways, um, you shouldn't back down to these people. It's that, like, if they do kill you, then we get stronger. That's the beauty of it. But it doesn't. If you do get killed, that doesn't help his girlfriend and his kids, and you know what I mean. And Charlie, in many ways, I suppose. Like, to die for the cause is a noble cause, but not necessarily everybody wants to die for the cause, and not necessarily yet either. Especially when you've got young children and a family. Again, it's the one kind of thing that's definitely clings you to this world. Do you know what I mean? There's a reason to stick around. It's because you've got kids and to bring your kids up. So yeah, but I'm sure he'll still fight for the world because his kids have to grow up here. But maybe just not on the front line like he has been. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. I don't think he's not standing down from the whole affair, but like you said there, he's not going to run around in dangerous places, and he's right in what he said as well. Like, the police did knock on his door, did tell him people were trying to kill him, and he still went out the next day when just with more bodyguards. So again, it shows like he wasn't scared, because he done that. That's kind of proof that he wasn't scared. But at the same time, it's a bit of stupidity in many ways, like you said, isn't it? It's a bit of stupidity. And maybe his girlfriends even knew at that point, but she's took a while to get through to him here, and knows fine well, though, this is his living, this is his job. This is how he makes his money, and that's how they make the money, probably. I don't know if she works or what she does, but that could be how they survive, you know what I mean? But if Charlie gets killed, there's no money. So it all comes back round to the fact that if there's no Charlie, then there's no family, there's no money, there's no nothing. So again, I completely understand the decision, to be honest.
Cousin parented idiots. But when there's 6 of you, when there's 8 of you, when you've got a knife, the biggest guy, one little slit to the jugular, one little cut to inner thigh to your groin on that big artery there, and you're finished. You're finished. And we're not a country with guns. I'm not going to go out, obviously. And where's the fucking police as well? My July videos where I'm getting chased by Islamists with knives. Gangs of them. Police took half an hour to turn up. Literal riot in the city centre. It's like the powers that be want a bit more chaos because obviously the government can't sort out the migrant problem because that would be racist. That is racist. So maybe they're going to say, well, we'll fire up the right wing enough and maybe we'll get, like, you know, paramilitaries, like Northern Ireland style paramilitaries are going to fucking sort it. But the problem is, you try and save your own country now, you go to jail. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But one thing I learned from St. Augustine, not that I read that sort of thing, I saw it on Twitter, X. So yeah, you know, but he goes, St. Augustine said, don't go out. There's nothing for you out there. There's nothing. There's a couple of cows. Where's the cows gone? There's a couple of cows there for you. Have a burger later with cheese, you know. Cow on cow. Glass of milk. Cow on cow with a side of cow. Sorry, St. Augustine said, don't go out there. There's nothing for you out there. Demons. Pieces of shit. Transgender terror cells. That's what you get. Antifa in the city. Go within yourself. Stay at home. Go within yourself. The truth is in here. The truth is in your heart. The truth is right here. And I agree with that. And how funny that my last video, just before Charlie Kirk's assassination, I think I called it the most ugly, contorted lefto-goblins you'll ever see. And I thought we had it bad here in the UK. Like, some of the faces, some of the close-ups I got, and they are obsessed with children. They project. The things they call me, I was like, YouTube is never going to monetize this video. The amount of P-word dropping they were doing, like obsession with children. They're obsessed with children. But I think YouTube understand that my channel's a little bit different. If it didn't have the kind of the free speech, I'd be a pauper in the gutter. And incredible how I was focusing on just how ugly the left are, physically, psychologically, spiritually, and then they go into the worst assassination, in my opinion, since JFK. The most dramatic, ugly, nasty one. JFK in front of his wife, Charlie Kirk in front of his wife and 2 children. And did any of you read that his daughter was scared by the noise and she tried to run to him after he got shot? His daughter tried to run to him, had to be held back by the mum. The shooter on the loose. Who's going to get shot next?
I mean, you can see Charlie's visibly upset at this point, and I think he often puts himself. He imagines his children as Charlie Kirk's children in this moment, and his child trying to run to him after he's been shot in the neck, and a very powerful image, to be honest, a very powerful image. And again, you can tell he's visibly upset by it all. And again, this is his reasonings. Maybe it wasn't just a girlfriend. Maybe he's just thinking of his children. Why he stood down here? Because yeah, I seen it in his last video, and he was obviously visibly upset with what had happened, and as many people were, to be honest. And again, Charlie mentions in this, but I don't think. I think it's before I started the video. He hasn't actually watched the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and I haven't myself. I've seen videos of. I haven't seen him being shot in the neck. I haven't seen the actual bullet go in and the blood spurt out, is what I've heard. In passing on the internet of the actual, there is a video of him, the full thing of him literally being shot in the neck, blood spurting out and him going down. I haven't seen that. I don't want to see that. Charlie also hasn't seen it. And me and Charlie haven't watched it for the same reason, I would imagine, because it's a horrible thing to witness. A man's life being taken live on camera. And it's not something I want into my brain. I know what's happened. I'm very well aware, and seeing it, I don't need to see it. I don't want to see it. And yeah, it's again. I just like Charlie hasn't watched it either. I seen what had happened, and I think I posted a video of Charlie Kirk's been shot, and I don't even think it was in there on that video. It was sort of the shot, and then it sort of pauses the video, I think. But I haven't, to my knowledge, I have no visual memory of seeing the bloods, but I've heard it on the internet that that's what happens, but I have no visual memory of that. And I don't want it. That's the beauty of it. I don't want that memory because it's not a nice one. And again, like I haven't got kids in a family to worry about and that, so again, but Charlie has. So I understand, again, because I don't want to see it, so I understand why Charlie doesn't. So yeah, that's the news. The Veitch, in effect, not completely standing down, but in effect standing down. So I'll leave it there. I'll put on the end of the video Fred offering Bob Villain out. Yeah, it's quite funny. I wonder what's going to happen. What's Bob Villain's reply? Can we get a fight on here? Well, that will be very interesting indeed. I'd probably pay to watch that. So we'll see what happens there. I'll put it on now anyway. I'll leave it there from the Veitch again. You could tell he was visibly upset. I'll let him finish.
Anyway, I think we've said enough. Thank you.
There we go. I think we've said enough. Thank you. Peace.
Let's get ready to rumble!
I want to dedicate this next one to an absolute piece of shit of a human being. The pronouns were. Because if you chat shit, you will get banned!
Okay, so Bob Villain, aka Pascal from Drama School, has made a video walking back his remarks where he was celebrating the death of a family man, father of two, who he happened to disagree with on politics. if you are going to talk about extreme violence, right, and killing and murder, the least you can do is come and meet me in consensual combat under any rule set you so desire, right? And we can engage in some extreme violence that's consensually agreed upon. This is not a threat or anything like that. It's a call out. It's like a gypsy call out to come and have a fight or essentially a duel with me, Bob Villain, okay? So don't talk about chatting shit and getting banged, right? Don't try and encourage other people on the internet to go and murder people, you fucking weirdo, right? Just come and have a fight with me to try and salvage what's left of your credibility and clout.